Welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here because today, we're talking about a coin that might be hiding in your pocket, a coin that could be worth a small fortune. Yes, I'm talking about the 1966 Washington Quarter. It might look like just another regular coin, but some of these quarters have sold for thousands of dollars. In fact, one rare 1966 quarter sold for up to $8,000. Can you believe that? Just imagine finding one of those in your old change jar or coin collection. So, what makes this coin so special? Let's start from the beginning. The Washington Quarter was first made in 1932. It was created to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the very first president of the United States. The design was only supposed to be used for 1 year, but people liked it so much that it stayed. From 1932 to today, the Washington Quarter has become one of the most well-known coins in the U.S. And even though it has gone through changes, the basic idea has stayed the same: George Washington on the front, and the eagle on the back. Now, let's talk about the year 1966. That year was right in the middle of a coin shortage in the United States. There weren't enough coins in circulation, so the government had to find ways to keep people from hoarding them. One big change they made was to stop using silver in quarters. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver. But starting in 1965, they began using a copper-nickel mix, also known as clad coins. That's the same material still used in quarters today. So, the 1966 quarter does not have any silver in it, but that doesn't mean it's worthless. In fact, some of these coins are worth way more than 25 cents. But why? Well, the value of a coin depends on a few things. It depends on how rare it is, what kind of condition it's in, and whether or not it has any errors. Coins with errors are sometimes the most valuable ones, especially if the error is something big or unusual. Before we get into the errors, let's talk a little bit about the design. On the front of the 1966 quarter, you'll see the side profile of George Washington. Above his head it says, "Liberty," and just under his chin are the words, "In God We Trust." At the very bottom, you'll see the year, 1966. On the back of the coin, there's a powerful eagle with its wings stretched out wide. The eagle is standing on a bundle of arrows, with olive branches below. At the top, it says, "United States of America," and at the bottom it says, "Quarter dollar." Now, here's something interesting about the 1966 quarter. If you look for a mint mark on it, you won't find one. That's not a mistake. In the years 1965, 1966, and 1967, the U.S. Mint decided not to put mint marks on coins. This was to stop people from collecting and hoarding coins based on where they were made. So, if your 1966 quarter doesn't have a letter like D or S, don't worry. That's totally normal. Alright, now comes the fun part: coin errors. This is where things can get really exciting. There are a few types of errors that happened during the minting of the 1966 quarter, and these are what make certain coins extremely valuable. One of the most popular errors is called a double die. This happens when the coin is struck more than once, but the images don't line up perfectly. This causes the letters and numbers to look like they are doubled. If you see doubling on the words, "Liberty," or, "In God We Trust," or even on the date, you might have a double die obverse. These coins can be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, especially if they're in good condition. Another error is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank coin wasn't placed properly in the press, so part of the design ends up missing or off to the side. The more off-center the coin is, the more it could be worth, especially if the date is still visible. These kinds of errors can sell for $100 or even more. There's also something called a clipped planchet error. That's when part of the coin's edge is missing, like someone took a bite out of it. This happens during the cutting process at the mint. These coins are usually worth between $50 to a few $100 depending on how big the clip is. Now, the most valuable error of all might be the wrong planchet error. This is when a quarter is struck on a blank meant for another coin, like a penny or a foreign coin. If the quarter looks like it's the wrong color or feels lighter or heavier than usual, it could be one of these rare types. And these are the ones that can sell for thousands, even up to $8,000 if they're in top condition. Speaking of condition, let's talk about coin grading. This is a system used by collectors and experts to describe how nice a coin looks. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded 70 is in perfect, mint condition with no flaws. Most coins you find in your change are usually graded somewhere between 10 and 40. But if your 1966 quarter looks shiny, sharp, and has very little wear, it could be in the 60s range, like MS-65 or MS-67. MS just stands for mint state. A 1966 quarter with a rare error and a high grade can be worth a lot of money. You might be wondering how to check if your coin has any of these features. Here are some easy steps. First, use a magnifying glass or a special coin loupe to look closely at the coin. Pay attention to the letters and numbers, look for any doubling or unusual marks. Next, check the edges. A regular 1966 quarter should show a copper line in the middle of the edge. If the edge looks all silver, it might be a special error. You can also weigh the coin. A regular 1966 quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If your coin is much lighter or heavier, that could be a sign of a wrong planchet error. If you think you found something special, the best thing to do is not clean the coin. Cleaning can ruin the value. Instead, you should take it to a local coin shop or send it to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. They can look at the coin, tell you if it's rare, and give it an official grade. Once the coin is graded, you can decide if you want to keep it, sell it, or even auction it off. So there you have it. The 1966 Washington Quarter is more than just a piece of change. It's a coin with history, mystery, and the chance to be worth a whole lot of money. From the changes in metal composition to the rare and valuable errors, this coin has a lot going on. And the best part? You could already have one at home. Take a moment to check your coins. Look through your piggy banks, coin jars, and old wallets. You never know, you might be holding a treasure without even realizing it. If you like this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a new upload. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting.